Hello, happy Saturday. I went to this powerful walk this morning, and it had to do with mental health. Mental health. And just going around and talking to different people and looking at the resources that are out there, it just made me very aware that there's a lot of help out there for people that may be struggling with mental health. And it was a NAMI event that dealt with mental health awareness, and it was the Orange County chapter over at Angel Stadium. And going and talking to these different nonprofit organizations and different centers and agencies, it just made me very self-aware that there's a lot of help out there. If you or someone is struggling with depression or mental health issues. And then I started thinking about, trying to better understand what depression is and, the symptoms, whether you're starting to feel like very sad or you have a loss of interest in things, activities, and just a change in your sleep or even your appetite, something as simple as that. How that can, those could be signs of depression. And I started to see as I'm talking to these different groups and organizations that intervention is a very important part of early intervention when someone's struggling with depression, and recognizing what's happening and supporting people, whether it's you or it's your child or a family member, but understanding depression and doing early intervention. And one of the first steps that I've learned is open communication. So open communication, encouraging if either yourself or family, friends, or children to open up and talk about their feelings, what's going on, about their mental health. And also to not be judgmental if they want to seek out professional help. I know for me, when my kids were growing up, I was like definitely not a believer in therapy, or to me, I saw that as a crutch or as a weakness. And my girls weren't allowed to go to therapy. And because of that, they struggled, and in the process, they developed PTSD. But encouraging either yourself or family members or children to get professional help, and the organization that I went today, this event was called NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and it was the Orange County chapter. And just to see the amount of nonprofits out there that are there to offer resources, and there's Zoom meetings, there's in-person meetings, and not just that area, but all areas. It's just as easy as Googling, or even there's I didn't realize this, but there's a suicide and crisis lifeline. If you pick up your phone and you dial 988, it supports people in crisis for free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's another organization called DBSA, which is Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance. And man, so much help out there for people that are struggling. And with that, it's important to make sure to be supportive of people that are going through this, and not be so quick to dismiss people. And even if you're struggling with it, not be so quick to dismiss it, but be aware of how you're feeling, and know that if you're starting to spiral into depression, to reach out to someone. And if you know someone that you think is spiraling, reach out to them and just ask them, I've noticed you've seemed down lately, and let them know that you're here if they'd like to talk. And encourage them to reach out to a counselor. Encourage them to call that 988 lifeline if they need immediate support. And support them on their journey, support them on their journey. And yeah, I just felt called to share that, and just know that mental health is not, it's not a bad thing if you're struggling with mental health. And for me, it was always a when I thought about mental health, there was a stigma around it. In my mind, there was a stigma, like, oh, my mental health is fine, even if I was struggling. No, I'm good. I don't need no help. And if you have someone in your life, or even if it's you're masculine, your ego, and you're like, I don't need, nothing's wrong with my mental health. And look at it as coaching. Look at it as a way to get coached. So if you replace therapist or therapy, replace it with coaching. I'm going out and I'm getting coaching to put myself in a better position, mentally, psychologically, even physically, because it impacts you. Sometimes it's just to play with the words, right? Because I know when I was in my narcissist, very extreme behavior, when therapy was offered to me, I'm like, no, I don't need no fucking freaking therapy, right? Can't cuss because then I get taken off of YouTube. But if somebody would have presented it in a way like, oh, you're going to get coaching, similar to my entrepreneur coaching or business coaching. I have these coaches for different parts of my business. But if somebody would have offered me coaching, but and not put in the whole mental health thing, but would have just disguised it, I would have been more receptive to embrace the coaching or training or the sessions. And which is that, just know that there's so much support out there, so much support. And if you don't feel like your family and friends are supportive of you, man, there's so many organizations that are there to help. And I was just blown away by this NAMI event that I went to. It was their annual Orange County walk. And just to know that there's so many resources out there. And I'm looking at this. It says, I found your stream and I need advice for relationship stuff. I'm 20 years old. I'm feeling love will never find me. Fatigue, I just read your comment, and man, at 20 years old, you shouldn't even be worrying about finding love. Learn to love yourself first. If I could go back to my late teens, early 20s, the one thing I would have done is I would have learned to sit with myself first. I would have learned to love myself first. And that would have saved me a lot of the trauma, a lot of the hurt and pain that I instilled on other people, the hurt and pain I instilled on myself. So for you, Fatigue, that said you're 20 years old and struggling, that you feel you're never going to find love, and you're gonna find it. But right now, it's not part of the journey. Your journey is going to be finding yourself. It's going to be healing yourself. It's going to be becoming the best version of yourself. And by doing that, man, you're going to have people lined up wanting to love you. It's about setting healthy boundaries, something that I didn't know until later on in life. Man, I didn't know what healthy boundaries were. To me, people were the way they were, and I allowed things to happen. So don't be concerned about whether you're going to find love or not, Fatigue. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And, Apollon says, I hope everyone has a great time and that the world is a better place with you all in it. We don't look out for each other anymore, just trying to spread some love. I love that. I love that. We have to do more of spreading, being of service to other people and helping other people. Fatigue, so he says, in college, everybody acting like somebody that's not like them, especially girls. It's a funny thing because it's unfortunate that in college, there's a lot of, it's like high school all over again, and it's almost like a popularity contest. And just know that the right, you'll attract the right person when the time's right. And I would challenge you to just dive into activities that interest you, that you're passionate about. And in those activities, you're going to start to find people that have similar interests and that can relate to you. And from that, that's going to be where you're going to start to find people that are in alignment with you. So I hope that helps. And then Johnny Boncera says, I have no money for child support. I do not take this seriously. I'm broke and too lazy for a relationship. And you know what? It sounds like you shouldn't be in a relationship right now. It sounds like you need to focus on you. And hopefully you don't have kids and not having to deal with the whole child support issue. But right now it should be about you just enjoying life and learning to take life seriously. And over time, when you're ready, you'll know that you're ready for a relationship. But in the meantime, just take it easy, Johnny. Take it easy and just enjoy life one day at a time. And just Fatigue, thanks for advice, dude. Sounds like I can give it a shot. Hey, Fatigue, you know what? Go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram. Edward Rodarte, RODARTE_. I would love to chat with you either over the phone or on a Zoom call for a few minutes and just dive a little bit deeper into your story, and I can share a little bit about my story and some of the challenges I went to. So I think you can send me a message here. If not, just go to Instagram and it's Edward Rodarte, RODARTE_, or reach out to me. I would love to chat with you, and especially because all three of my girls are they're 20, 22, and 27. So a lot of what you're going through, I experience it, but I experience it from the side of a female because I have three girls. And so I can give you a whole different perspective, and might be able to get one of them to jump on the call. And also, but just know, and absolutely, I'll do that. You know, part of my purpose and passion is to help people on this journey. And yeah, that's what we're here for. You know, as I start to transition into my life purpose of giving back through the podcast Fatherhood Voices, and just the content I put out on social media about helping fathers heal the relationship with their children. You know, what I've come to find is that a lot of our trauma comes from our inner child. It comes from things that happened as a child, abandonment, resentment, anger, unworthiness, and all this stuff happening as a child carries on as you become a young adult and as you become adults. And so now you're adults and you've never learned to love yourself. You've never learned to trust yourself, to be present. And now what happens is we go out and into these relationships, and we even have kids, and then we damage our partners, or we attract wounded partners that have wounds from emotional. And also we have kids and we're not in that space emotionally or psychologically. And then what happens, we pass on that trauma to our kids. And then what does that set? That sets on ancestral trauma, and we create this ancestral lineage of just trauma from one person to the next. So, you know, and thank you for that comment from Sarit. I salute you. You're awesome. No, thank you. All I can say is my journey has been because I messed up. I messed up how I raised my kids. I messed up how I showed up as a husband, how I showed up as a brother, as a son. And something a lot of you don't know is all three of my girls tried to commit suicide by the time they were 16. And that's because of how I raised them. I was so hard on them. I was, you know, I didn't provide an emotionally safe home for them. And because of that, they just felt like they didn't want to be here. And it's something that I've had to go on this journey of healing to start to repair the relationship with my girls. And it's been a work in progress. It's been a work in progress. And fatigue, you say your generation has serious problems. Oh, fuck. Absolutely, man. This new generation. Uh, now, I am getting challenged on this. You says, all my friends living like they have no tomorrow. The one thing that I have learned is I've learned to live in the moment. So I don't deal with the past anymore and I don't deal with the future. I live in the present. And for Sarit, my girls are in a better place. My 28-year-old, we have every Monday through Friday when she's on her way to work, we talk. My middle one's still a work in progress. She's 22 and she's tiptoeing into the relationship. I mean, from a psychological standpoint, yes, they're doing better. Emotionally, there's still a lot of trauma. My youngest, my 20-year-old, she just had a baby last year, so she brought a beautiful grandchild into the world, well, for us, grandchild. And there's still a lot of ego and trauma there, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, and a big part of what I do with this podcast and with my page on social media is as I'm sharing not only my mess ups, but as I'm sharing different ways that I would do things, it's helping me not only learn, but it's helping me come up with better tools and practices to heal the relationship, not only with my children, but I want people to not repeat the mistakes that I made because I'm so glad that I didn't lose my girls. And, at the time, I was okay with that because I was so angry that to me it was a sign of weakness. And a lot of men think like this, especially if they're in their masculine. And a lot of this is cultural. And it's sad. It's scary. Yeah. So with that, in closing, like I said, thank you for those of you that have stayed on. Just know that mental health, it's serious. It is something that we should be talking about. And there's groups out there, there's resources. All you got to do is just Google stuff in your area, and you will find tons of resources, nonprofit organizations, county organizations that'll be there to assist you. And says, so it says the prefrontal cortex of the brain matures at around 24. Things get better thereon. I agree 100%. And thank you for that. It does get better, but I think what also makes it better is getting them on the right path. Because, as an example, my 28-year-old, she's finally starting her journey of healing. And my journey of healing was very different because I went an untraditional route. I went with deep meditation and breath work and very holistic things. Don't want to mention them because then the video gets blocked. But I sat with different earthly medicines in order to heal myself. And that started me on the path of being able to heal myself first, or start the process of healing, because I don't think we ever heal completely. I think it's a journey of healing. And then from there, I was able to show up as the best version of myself. And from that, my immediate circle, family, friends saw that this wasn't just a bunch of bullshit, and started to get curious. I'm from India. That's awesome to hear you talk meditation. Absolutely. Meditation is, every morning. If you don't meditate, for those of you out there that don't meditate, absolutely, definitely meditate, because as soon as you wake up in the morning, because what a quick way to just ground yourself and sit with your thoughts and be in that moment. And, meditation and even breath work. Look up breath work on YouTube, and you want to take meditation to a whole nother level. Do some breath work, and oh man, what beautiful awakenings and clarity that you can get. With that, I hope you guys have an amazing, over in Southern California, it's Saturday, 2:42 in the afternoon. I'm sure different time zones in other places, but with that, have an amazing rest of your weekend, and feel free to reach out to me, message me. I would love to pick up the conversation, and I have a monthly Zoom call that I do that you guys are all welcome to participate in. So you can message me here or just on Instagram. It's Edward Rodarte _ and I'll be happy to dive deeper. With that, have an amazing rest of your day.